flying in. And when I say that this person will be flying in, they're coming from somewhere else. Usually I have a voters thing that all the candidates show up. I'm not doing that this year. And the reason why I'm not doing that this year is that I'm just going to be honest. There's been some times and other times where candidates have come in, have used the power of internet radio and pretty much not supported internet radio when they got elected. But, podcasts, whatever you want to call it. And I'm just like, I wanted to make sure that everybody has a clear and fair shake about elections, about everything else. But the bottom line is this. Unless you do right by the African American community, I'm not going to just sit there and let you lie to my audience. We do have a right to vote. We have a right to choose, but you also have a right to, you have the obligation as far as being a political servant or want to be a political servant to tell the truth. And I'm not going to sit up here and you say one thing and do another. Now,
yeah, use your platform to tell lies. No, that ain't right.
Or just not support it, period. Now, I had somebody come in that, email me. I'm going to not give a name. Keep it classy. Mm-hmm. As somebody give a name, send me an email saying we want to come on, blah, blah, blah. Now, they may have other obligations. We want to come on, how you want to do it. I give my hours. I'm like Big Red. My hours are 9 to 5 or 6 to 8 on this network. So they didn't show up. They didn't respond. I also sent over something else as well as far as you want your ad run. I seen your television ads. You want your ad run here where you can reach the voters that you need, the African-American people, the people that listen to me. You're going to need those votes. You're going to need every single vote that you get, especially in the races that you have. Now, this person did not respond. Or their people did not respond. And the thing about it is, I'm not blaming the candidate. See, sometimes you got to look at the people that are running these field operations for these candidates, that are running, even though a collective party may be running them. You're looking at these, you like all these things that are being ran and things of that nature. Let me just explain something to you. I'll be very honest. And this is just me being honest. I'm not going to sit up here and let you if you're not going to be there, just be honest.
Yeah.
And I understand that it's hard to get somewhere and running a show, doing this and everything. And that's like, sometimes things happen, but you got to make sure that you have a time schedule, period.
Right.
So all that, like, we already know that the governor race, Nan Whaley, Mike DeWine, and I'm also not going to pick. Usually I'm here with the Queen with the Gold Mike. We do our predictions, a week before the election. Ain't doing our week. I'm not doing no picks. Let me just explain the reason why. Because in every single race right now, especially these ones, I'm going to tell you what. I don't know who gonna win or lose, because I think that some of these races are lopsided. You already know the clear-cut winner in a race, and I know which race I'm talking about. You already know a lot. You already know who's going to win in that race, who's going to lose.
Right.
But you also know that there's a couple of people that are not going to. Certain people are not gonna make it. They're just running it because to run. That we're like, so I'm not going to waste my breath on those picks.
I can't even chime in because, like I said, I don't want to keep on beating a dead horse. I just moved back from Florida, so I haven't really been following, everything that's going on here in Cleveland. Mm-hmm. So.
Now, here's the thing, though, Shayla. I'm just going to say this. And, me and T-Rex have been, I've done these shows before, fed the candidates, had a whole bunch of stuff out for them. Some of them come in, some of them didn't. Some of them had, the forms, we had the forms and everything else like that. Did real good. But the problem is that you see people step away, and somebody said it was, and I'm just going to share a personal experience. Somebody said it was due to me. Let me just explain. I'm going to be honest. Somebody said it's due because of me, because of my brashness, and because sometimes, had a situation personally where somebody stole some money from. But pretty much, but I removed that particular post, but it says my brashness and things of that nature, and other people that's been on my show brashness and they want to stay away and things of that nature. That's fine. That's up to you. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. You are absolutely, positively not going to get the personal thing from anybody else that you will from Larry H. Gardner. And the thing about it is, as long as I've been here, I have helped people win elections. Let me just explain why. Track record is proven. Every time somebody comes on the show, whether it be running in the primary or the general, when they run, they reach the people that need to be reached, and they reach the people that need to be, hey, this person was on this program.
Right.
So when they was on this program, and let me explain what happened. I'm going to say this, and I know I'm beating a dead horse. The mayoral race. One of the stops that Justin Bibb made was here. He sat right in this chair, right across from me, and other people that sat around there. He sat there and he talked about his platform, and he was just in the primary. That means there was like 7 other people running. He made it past to the general. Justin came on here, did a commercial with us. He's in City Hall right now. This candidate that's coming in here, he wants to win because he's going to do whatever it takes to make all out the stops to come over here and do whatever it is that needs to be because he wants your vote, because he wants to serve the people. Whether you feel about certain people on here or not, people that come on here that I interview want to serve the people. And I give them the hard questions. Now, it may seem like I'm having a conversation, but I give them the hard questions. So the thing about it is, what questions are you going to give them? You got to make sure that you learn that you need to exercise your right and vote. Like I said, even if you this close to putting in yourself as a candidate, hey,
right.
That is your equal right. If you feel like you have rights on social media, and some people have a right to be a-holes, then you have a right to write in your own candidate.
Uh-huh.
And the thing about it is like, I don't want to hear about if I didn't do this or I didn't do that. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear the whining anymore. Here's the one thing that I'm tired of hearing. This ain't right. This ain't right. Well, did you make a change? Did you do something today to make your life better? Did you invest in something? Did you build something so that people can look at it? Did you do anything to make your life better? Because if you hadn't, you need to shut the hell up. Sometimes, people want to ramble off at the mouth on social media and nobody understands what they're saying. But when you got somebody who like me that's direct, people don't want to hear it. Here's the problem what I got with that. Let me just explain something to y'all. This ain't easy.
No.
This ain't easy. It may look good, but this ain't easy. Speaking of this ain't easy. And I'm going to talk about one of my favorite people right now. Coach Prime. Coach Deion Sanders of Jackson State University. Coach Prime time. Let me explain something what happened. Jackson State played Southern, and they was on ESPN, Game Day, and stuff like that. Here's what happened to Deion. So some of the Southern players was talking smack about Prime and his son, Shedeur Sanders, who's the starting quarterback for Jackson State University, the Tigers, over there in Jackson State, Mississippi, was talking so much smack. They was on TikTok, running their mouth saying, oh, we gonna rob you, we gonna snatch your chain off Shedeur, we gonna whoop your ass, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, F Prime, F him, F Jackson State, F you. Like, he ain't do nothing to you. So here's what happens. So here's where karma gets you. Jackson State beat them 35-0. That's karma.
People don't believe.
Hey, it can bite you in the behind. He kept it real.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of which, they're in Houston right now. I think they're playing Houston Southern. Coach Prime, when he heard about Takeoff getting killed, he did not. He said they go, the young girl's gonna have to visit you at the hotel room or something like that because he is not. He said y'all can't leave, not even to go out to eat. Y'all confined to your hotel rooms because he said some people you just gonna have to separate from, especially when you move up in the world. Now, understandable.
Yeah.
Some people will have to separate from you because they feel like you're holding them back, realizing it wasn't you, or you have to separate from them. Sometimes you got to do bigger and better things to make sure that you're right. And that's understandable.
Numero uno first.
Right. So I've been talking. Shayla, anything you got to say right now?
You know, I got a lot to say, but I don't want to mix it up.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No.
Microphone check 1 2. When is this?
Sorry. Look.
She worried about that phone.
All right.
Oh, I was worried about this chicken stuff over here. I was munching on. But anywho, several different things.
Mm-hmm.
Like my client, I do CNA work. So my client was talking about how we are our own worst enemies.
Uh-huh.
And that we do things, you know, that are against one another when we should be doing for one another.
Mm-hmm.
And she's 77 years old. Shout out, Miss Bill. I'll show you the broadcast later. But we have somebody that has joined in with us. Leave that up to you to introduce the next.
We go, but before we introduce the candidate for Cuyahoga County Exec, and he's been a friend of the program, T-Rex, can we take a break and just get him acclimated so we can just sit there because he's come from another event. This is Cameo, Make It Hot. When we come back with our guests. You already know who it is. We right back on WNRV1081.com. Hello, Mr. Weingart.